Hello and welcome to the Goddess Tribe Tarot. This is my channel and today we are getting some healing insights. This is a general reading for the collective. No pick a card today. And I'm doing live shuffling. So grab your drink, get cozy, and let's get into this. All right. Okay, so where does the soul need healing? Well, it looks like the soul needs healing regarding conflict and obstacles and burdens that have arisen regarding your happily ever after, as well as family connections. There could be a lot of conflict within your family or that has taken place regarding family. Also, competition or fighting that is impacting your ability to achieve ultimate happiness. Oops. Can you see it okay? Sorry. So I need to see that card. Those cards. People that were supposed to be on your side and supporting you ended up being the people who ended up causing the fights. This is more cards than I was looking for. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to show you this as a brief message because this is a bit too many cards. But it says one of the ways that this problem, this blockage in getting your happily ever after originated is from a masculine or multiple masculines who were supposed to be loving and protective and good providers ended up being really cutthroat and selfish. So that's a message for some of you out there. Um, how this problem originated was due to some endings, or a death of some kind. I feel like something was a non-starter, like something that was supposed to start off really great and become amazing was sort of a dud. Like it was didn't have enough life in it to begin with to become what it was potentially supposed to be or could have been. Someone could have ended something, and or there could have been an ending um in your life of some kind which caused a lot of problems, and someone is creating more conflict than they need to, because they're angry at you for ending something. What you need to support your healing is happiness. Also, it says the sun, so like maybe get outside, enjoy the sun whenever you can. Be optimistic and look for the positives. I'm also seeing that you need to be your own cheerleader. What hinders the healing process for you is where other people have done you really dirty. It could be one person or this could be multiple people have basically I'm actually going to read you the story that goes with this card. This card is related to a Canadian Inuit mythology. It says this 10 of swords represents backstabbing and betrayal. Sedna's father pushes her from his kayak and chops off her fingers when she tries to cling to his boat. She sinks to the bottom of the ocean and becomes consumed with wrath, eternally seeking revenge. So this is talking about the ways people have betrayed you and being stabbed in the back, sabotaged. People have done you dirty and you've hit rock bottom. There's been an overwhelming amount of challenges. People who have severed ties but done it in a way that was really toxic. On the bottom of the deck underneath that card, you had the Hierophant. So this was meant to happen to push you in a new direction. But what is hindering the healing process for you is clinging on to these betrayals and this anger and these challenges and the people who are causing those challenges. So if there's someone in your life who just keeps hurting you, like this guy has more power over this girl. So if there is someone in your life who is sort of lording their power and resources over you, like, I can do whatever I want to you because you're my bitch, then yeah, that person, you need to cut them loose because they enjoy watching you fail, even if they pretend that they don't. The lesson contained within this is the Five of Swords. There are challenges in your life that are created by you, and you feel really defeated by them. And there are challenges in your life created by other people who, again, have abused their power in your life and over you and have sort of decided, well, I'm king shit. And again, you're just my bitch. So someone's really happy about you being in a lesser standpoint than they are. I'm going to read you that one as well. This one is pertaining to Egypt, so Egyptian mythology, and it says the Five of Swords represents a fight won through deceit. Set overthrows his brother Osiris and is seen gloating over his brother's inconsolable wife, Isis. While Set represents a tyrant of a victor, Isis is a defeated combatant who will eventually bring about Set's defeat. So in this one, it's about surrender, betrayal, bullying, violence, and crime. So someone has bullied you most unfairly and is now sort of walking off into the sunset with their new victory and their new life and is pretending that they haven't done anything wrong because they're the ones coming across. This has that really shitty who's winning the breakup energy. And the lesson contained within this is, you know what? If someone's bullying you, has been violent against you, has betrayed you, brought you down, created conflict and fighting within your life, sometimes you just need to let them think that they've won, because if the only thing that you can do is sit there and cry and let the pieces fall where they may, then maybe that's what you need to do. Like, you have what it takes to rise above and overthrow this person and kick them out of your life and rise anew like this phoenix back here. But if it looks like someone has destroyed you and is walking off into the sunset with all their victories, like, let them, because their ego is going to be the death of them, and you might be able to use that against them. And where you have caused conflict in your own life, this is rising above the version of you that was hurt and betrayed and defeated by others and even by yourself. Sometimes we betray ourselves because we don't feel like we have a choice or because we're just in a bad sort of way. But rise above that and learn how to defend yourself without handing your power over to someone else. Especially if you've been in a domestic violence situation where your partner has bullied you and hurt you physically and non-physically. Don't let that version of you that has been beat down be the only version of you that you see, because you can overcome this and be victorious. But just remember that the people who have laid hands on you because they were angry at you, and people who have been bullies to you unprovoked, their ego, their narcissism will always tell them that you did something to deserve it. But that's not true. But however, you deserve to defend yourself. Okay, so if someone has hurt you and you try to defend yourself and that person tried to turn it around on you, like, oh, well, you did this, so I did this. You know what? Sometimes the best thing you can do is just turn your back on them and be like, okay, your ego, your narcissism is so out of control that there is no way to heal this situation. So you need to learn how to come to a resolution without that person. Sometimes a compromise with that person cannot be made. So the only way to compromise is to do that within yourself and be like, well, I can't control that person. I can't erase what has happened. So I'm just going to release that person in this situation from my life and focus on peace and balance within yourself. And when you interact with that person, try to do it from a place of peace and justice. Here's a mini message that came up is walking away from the old stuff in pursuit of something better, because you're going to come to a crossroads, and the path that you pick, you really need to commit yourself to so that you can rise above like a phoenix, be in control of your own soul, your own energy, and wield it wisely as you resurrect and transform your life, your soul, your healing with really powerful energy. Commit to the path that you are wanting for yourself, and then leave all the other baggage in the past. So that is a message for some of you. Some of you really need to master your own energies and use it in a way that is not harmful to yourself or others. The first step to healing is figuring out what it is that you want to build right now. What does that look like? What is the outcome you want? And then really start taking action towards that. Building up your resources, utilizing them effectively, asking for help when you need to. Doing whatever it is that your health requires for you to get to that end game that you really, really want. Really focusing on stabilizing your health, your finances, your home life, and your physical connections with other people. Yeah. A message from your higher self is to focus on this new flow of love where you need to love yourself before you can give love to other people. And when new love does come into your life, make sure that your heart is healed and open and ready to receive that love. You do have an underlying message of the devil. So you need to be discerning about dark shadows, evil, and toxic people in your life, where you need to love yourself in spite of the toxic people in your life. And you need to have enough self-love and respect for yourself, and also for whatever new love you're trying to cultivate in your life and healing, to dive deep into your dark shadows, into where you have led yourself astray and where others have led you astray. And, place blame where it belongs. If you've behaved in dark, toxic ways, you need to own that. You can't just gloss over them and act like everything was fine and like you didn't do anything wrong if you absolutely did. And don't take on the responsibility of the ways that other people have hurt you. If someone has manipulated you and betrayed you and broken their promises to you, if they've abused you, if they've showed that they just are so focused on their happiness that they don't really care about you, recognize that that is who that person is, and you cannot overcome their dark shadows for them. You can only overcome your dark shadows. And you can transform yourself and your energy. Your darkest times are meant to teach you about your darkest self and also the darkness of other people, so that you can recognize when that's arising within yourself and when other people are displaying those characteristics, so that moving forward, when you feel your dark self coming through, you can decide how to deal with that and keep it under control on purpose and deliberately. We're gonna get some extra messages. So the conflicts in your life with other people and the challenges that are arising that are sort of hindering you and blocking you from getting your happily ever after, you're going to be coming into some realizations. Okay, because we're not looking at it. You're going to come into some realizations about the situation, and it's going to help you set and pick new goals. That here. You're going to realize, you're going to come into some deep personal realizations about conflicts with other people, the challenges in your life, and how you're holding on to them. And you're going to start to pick new goals that are more aligned with happiness and your happily ever after and the goals that you have for this current chapter of your life. Oh yeah, you have dark shadows coming out really, really strong. This problem came about because of endings. You got dark shadows there coming up with death, And endings have created a lot of dark shadows. I'm feeling like you might have gotten through one particular ending, or maybe multiple endings that have just been really cutthroat. And it's created a lot of dark shadows. Yeah, we got confirmation. Yes. A lot of the dark shadows within you and your life have come through some really intense endings with other people. I'm seeing that there's light ahead, and you need to do some energy work on clearing out the dark shadows you have about death and possibly abandonment. However, you have been abandoned, and however endings have occurred in your life, it's created lots of darkness within you, and it might have acted like a magnet for other people, where you keep trying to rise above these endings and these abandonments and these challenges, and other people come around with their darkness and just want to stomp all over you. In order to support your own healing, it says emotional growth. Emotional growth. So you definitely need to focus on the happiness that is available to you, and focus on growing your own emotions in spite of what other people are doing. For this card, I just want to read you this one. Is also Egyptian. It says, the sun is success, birth, confidence after passing through difficult times. Egyptian sun god Ra proves everything is illuminated with optimism and enthusiasm for the path ahead. So focus on how you can have joy and satisfaction. Focus on the ways that luck has helped you, and the things that you've accomplished and things that you want to accomplish. Um, do not focus on missed opportunities. Don't focus on the ways that things are being delayed. Do not focus on doubt or the fear of missing out or on your depression, because although depression is a very real thing, you need to grow emotionally past the things that have brought you darkness and focus on the light that is coming in ahead for you. What is hindering the healing process for you is seeing all the infinite possibilities and how you could continue to be hurt and things can continue being wrong. Especially regarding love and romantic interests, and feeling like you may transition into new situations, but that it will always be more of the same. And we're just going to put those up there. So instead of focusing on all of the infinite possibilities and how people can continue to betray you and hurt you, and all the ways that life can go wrong, all the challenges that could go arise, focus on things that you're interested in that are positive, the things that could go right, and transition away from awareness of a lack and what could go wrong, and more into an awareness of the ways that things could be changing and going right for you. Things that could be going in a more positive direction. The lesson contained within this is it's not you, it's them. I'm trying to get a clarifier here. Okay. Sorry, some of these are ripping and I gotta be careful with them. So in the ways that people have hurt you, it's not about you, it's about them. And if you're the one who has hurt someone else, then hold on, I don't like the way that's saying. You need to stop blaming the other person for your reactions. And I don't mean if you were defending yourself from violence. I mean, when you have been the one to instigate a fight, when you've broken your promises, when you have wasted someone else's time, when you have been violent and you give excuses to yourself as to why you did that, you need to stop saying that it's the other person who deserved it because they said something that you didn't like, or they like went into a different room and left you to your own devices. You can't blame other people for your mistakes, but also you cannot blame yourself for other people's mistakes. So if someone else was violent to you or causing conflict in your life and you needed to defend yourself, you can't take on other people's actions as your own. You can only take on your actions and take responsibility for them. Because there is some healing that needs to be done, and you cannot heal another person. You can only heal yourself. And there is also redemption. So you cannot get redemption for someone else. You can only get redemption for yourself. So whether you are the one who did, whether you're the bad guy or they're the bad guy, or you're both equally bad guys together in different ways, you cannot do the work for them. You cannot bully someone into doing the work that you feel like they should be doing. The first step to healing is to really figure out what it is that you want to end up with in the chapter of your life that you are currently on, this end game in your 3D, and then figure out how you can get there and then do what it takes deliberately to get there. Repetitive cycles, habits, and choices. You might need to quit making specific types of repetitive habits and choices in order to end a cycle. And you might need to develop new habits and choices that are repetitive in order to get what you want, consistency and inner beauty. So instead of focusing on the outer beauty and the outer physical developments, you need to focus on your inner beauty, your inner healing, and how being a better person from the inside out, and then making that decision to continue attempting to be your best self repetitively and making that choice every single day, and then working on your 3D environment from that standpoint of being your best self and how that can help you get to the happily ever after that you want. Because you do need to make some physical efforts in your 3D to help your physical situation, and you might need to change the cycles, the habits, and choices that you're making repetitively and to make new ones. This is a message of repetition and making physical efforts for your 3D, but also making efforts for your inner beauty. The message from your higher self is about cleaning up your heart and your life and removing. Oh, this card is really torn up, but um, cleaning up the disorderly conduct in your life and your heart and the flow of how things are going. So you really need to do some self-healing, healing your heart, balancing your emotions, embracing new happiness, really clean up those aspects and that are creating disorderly conduct, because that disorderly conduct might not just be from external situations. It can also be disorderly conduct within your heart. And with this devil card, if you are hurting others, you need to check yourself on that. And if others are hurting you, you need to check yourself and how you are allowing them to hurt you and how you can remove yourself from that negativity. And you need to do some energy work regarding old narratives, whether people have created narratives about you or whether you have created narratives about yourself and others. You need to do some really deep energy work for that. We're going to get a couple of oracle cards just to close this out. Check your own energies as well. Your dark shadows, whenever you feel like they're rising up and getting the best of you, check yourself, check your energies, and don't hurt other people with your old narratives. If there is someone in your life that you've just had enough of, don't continue to hurt them because of old narratives and old situations, right? Like, have some class, grow up. And if someone else is hurting you with their old narratives, then really heal that part of yourself that is susceptible to their energies and create more self-protection, because you don't want to let the devil in just because he's standing on your doorstep. You don't have to do that. Your soul needs to heal from punishment. You have angel of punishment. So you need to heal from all the ways that you have punished yourself and the ways that other people have punished you. You might have put yourself in a position where you feel like you need to punish other people, or where you need to punish yourself, and you need to heal that aspect of yourself and put that to rest. Not because you're not taking responsibility for the things you've done wrong, or because you're not expecting other people to take responsibility for what they've done wrong, but just there's a certain point where you're pushing too much. If you're the one being the bully, you don't need to punish this person further. You don't need to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and punishing and punishing and punishing and lording over them, because that makes you the jackass. And if someone else is doing that to you and you want to see them get punished, just work on how you can be a better person and, let divine source punish them the way that they are going to be punished. And if they don't get punished, then obviously a higher power has decided that that's not something that requires a lot of justice and karmic balancing, or maybe there's something going on under the surface that you cannot see. You don't need to cut other people down all the time just because you feel like they deserve it. And even if they do deserve it, sometimes focusing on how you can punish other people only keeps that pain and anger inside of you alive, and that ends up punishing you too. This problem could have originated because you have a beautiful heart and other people are intimidated by that. It could also be because you don't have enough beauty in your heart. Like maybe you have told yourself that you're just fantastic and you don't need to work on your heart anymore. You don't need to work on yourself. And that might have caused problems. You might have decided, this is who I am, this is who I'm always going to be. And then you decided that that was the narrative and you stubbornly stuck to it. Or someone else might have done that to you, where they decided that they are who they are going to be and that's just it. And they decided not to work on themselves. But there's also this message where someone in this situation has a really beautiful heart and someone else couldn't handle that or was intimidated by it. And this could be one person or this could be multiple people. This is also a problem that might have developed over time. You've got the angel of time, where this is an issue that is developed over the course of your life, where multiple endings and dark shadows have impacted your heart and the beautiful things about you. And now you just feel like you've lost all potential to come into your best self, and that's not true. You still have time to be your best, most beautiful self. Actually, I'm going to get another card from that deck. What you need to support your healing is endurance. Endure through the crappy things because there's good things ahead. Make your optimism and your belief in the good things that are coming more enduring. This emotional growth, it needs to be more, it needs to be stronger. It needs to be less susceptible to being swayed. I'm saying you need to be more positive and happy and more emotionally mature. And to be able to endure the ups and downs of what's going on with more strength. Because you cannot control other people. You can only control yourself. What is hindering the healing process for you is, okay, you know what? Oopsies. Um, what's hindering the healing process for you is empathy. There might be a huge lack of empathy for what you are going through and what you've been through. And I'm so sorry that the people who have hurt you have no empathy for what they've done to you or the ways that you've been hurt, that there's no one to have compassion for you. And also the lack of compassion that you have for yourself and what you've been through. Or maybe the ways that you've hurt other people. Maybe you have no compassion for the ways that you've hurt someone because you thought that they deserved it. That could be hindering your growth. But for your own healing and healing yourself, you need to have empathy for the people who have been hurt by you unnecessarily. And you need to have empathy and compassion for the people that you've been hurt. For the people who've hurt you, you need to have compassion for the ways that they've hurt you and even the ways that you've hurt yourself. You might have been through a lot of crap, and it's preventing you from seeing all the beautiful things that could happen and all the things that are changing because you're holding on to the ways that you've been hurt and betrayed and the ways that life has just shut you down. And you need to have some empathy and compassion for yourself. The lesson contained within this is visions, angel of visions. So you might see challenges and betrayal and fighting everywhere, but you can start choosing to see it from a different perspective. You don't need to connect yourself from the things that have happened that are crappy and negative and toxic. And you don't need to continue connecting yourself to them. You don't need to see yourself in everything. Like, even if you're just watching a show and something reminds you of something, you don't need to immediately put yourself in that place and relive, like, let's say something that's going on in a TV show. You don't need to put yourself in that place and imagine yourself in that situation because that could be doing more harm. So start being more in control of the ways that you are visioning things, visualizing things, seeing things in your own perspectives. The first step to healing is to focus on your spiritual connections and your connection to spirit. Um, there's a lot of connection between yourself, the things that you are seeing, and your spirituality. So if you have had a disconnect between yourself and your spirituality, divine source, higher self, God, goddess, etc., you need to reconnect to that. It doesn't have to be with a specific religion or modality. Just work on reconnecting to your spiritual self. Um, A message from your higher self is angel of mysteries. You're not supposed to understand everything that's happening right now, and you're not supposed to have all the answers. And that might be really difficult for some of you, but just embrace that there are mysteries and surprises coming. And regarding this devil, your higher self wants to know that these dark shadows, the angel of vengeance, will come and lay waste to those people who deserve to be treated with vengeance. And those people who do not deserve to be treated with vengeance, let it go. Don't make that darkness your moniker. Don't turn yourself into someone who is dark and full of vengeance, and don't Don't even focus on people who are so narcissistic that they don't see that they are playing with fire, because there are angels that are going to come in and give that person a swift kick in the ass. And it may not happen now. It might happen later. It might happen in a way that is completely non-connected to you in that person's future. But somehow the people who have wronged you, who deserve to be struck down, will get their comeuppance. And those people who do not deserve such a deep, dark lesson of darkness and justice and revenge, they will have to do their own work themselves. And that hard work will be all on them. You also have Angel of New Life. So don't continue putting new life into darkness and evil and vengeance. Focus on something new. Focus on a new life within yourself, within your actual life, your 3D, your relationships, your finances, your home, your health, your heart healing, your even going to therapy. Create a new life with wisdom, because you are going to overcome these dark times, and the people who have hurt you will be left in the background. And sometimes the best revenge is getting a new life, learning the lessons that you needed to learn, and then being happy in spite of the ways that someone else has hurt you. Oh, and you did have death come up. Oh my gosh, I'm going to show you this. Sometimes things need to end, like this Angel of Death, because the card underneath it is Angel of Verdancy. Sometimes you need to go through a difficult ending in order to get new life and new growth. And things will seem really empty for a while and frozen. But that's only so that the new seeds of growth that you're trying to create can, there's a submission. You need to submit to what is difficult and ending and what is emptying out of your life now, so that new beautiful things can grow, so that you can come into this kingdom of wonder and awesomeness that you deserve. But you're not going to get that until you have learned the lessons and transformed in the ways that you need to transform. We're going to get some extra messages. Um, okay, so how this is going to come, how this situation, this healing is going to come through for you. You got new life again. You got chop wood. You got buy the book and TikTok. Oops. And underneath the deck, you have regeneration. So you are going to get this new life with your actual life, but also with your healing. But there's work to be done. If you're working on your healing and your self-healing, you gotta do the work to heal yourself and to bring new life into those old, dank, dusty spaces, those dark areas within you, and those things in your life that are not working. you're going to have to do some work to clear out all of that stuff that doesn't need to be there and to re-energize your energies. This is like you could be doing some heart chakra energies and just general chakra work in general that requires you to do a lot of work to clear them out, recharge them with new energy. Things are going to happen step by step. You might need to follow hold on, I'm going to actually read that one for you. You are going to have to abide by some universal laws. It says the universe works within a structure of divine laws and principles that provides a framework for human experience and evolution. The law of abundance, the law of prayer, the law of karma, the law of attraction, the law of thought, the law of compensation, and the law of nature are only a few that are known. These principles create perfect order and operate with a kind of precision beyond human understanding. Even revolution has its place in universal law. Human beings, in turn, have their own laws and customs that vary from culture to culture and family to family. Laws keep social order and govern behavior, reflecting an instinctive understanding that harmony is important. This is the time to learn these laws and conform to them rather than being the rebel and flouting them. When this card appears, submit to structure and follow the rules even if they seem to make no sense. Release resistance, for universal laws will correct any disharmony. Open your eyes to those universal laws and it will be easier to go by the book this time. Yeah, so wherever you are being led to do the work in order to get new life, new growth, do it. Where you are being led, go there, because the universe is guiding you to do these things, and step by step it will come in. And maybe don't waste time, but don't overly focus on how long things are taking or whether or not they're moving too fast. Just go where you're being led, but don't rush the process and don't try to slow it down either. Some of you might be trying to skip steps in order to get ahead because you just want to get away from something. Well, you're doing yourself a disservice. And some of you may be trying to slow things down because you're not ready for them to move that fast. But you don't always get to control the current. There is some regeneration coming in, a regeneration of life and growth. Now is the time. Trust that the universe has your back and that the work that you are being led to do right now to bring forth these new things into your life and this new healing is going to bring you really good things. And whatever is not for you is going to be led out of your life. And what will replace it will be really rich and healthy and really, really good for you. Your advice is to observe what's going on around you, but be poised and ready to respond in a positive way to whatever is happening. So observe the endings and the shadows and stuff and the work that you are doing and the signs and where you're being led, but be poised and ready for this new growth to come in. And let's get a couple messages from your higher self to round this out. Yeah, go the distance. You're going to be able to go really far with your healing and with this new chapter that's coming into your life. Just keep going. You might be afraid, but keep going anyways. You've got the strength to do this. All right, higher self. What is your higher self saying to you? Your higher self wants you to focus on innocence, how you and others are still innocent. Relationship. Focus on the relationship you have with yourself and the relationship you have with your higher self, your spirit, your God. And assertiveness. Be assertive when you need to, when you are being led to be assertive, to take charge and make the decisions that you need to do and figure out what it is that you desire. And then focus your heart accordingly. And you have release and surrender. Release and surrender to what's happening, because if you try to hold on too tightly to controlling the situation, you might end up doing yourself and others a disservice and hindering your growth and someone else's. And it says your life purpose is changing directions. So the purpose of your life is changing directions, and go with the flow. You need to work on your relationship with yourself and your own self-healing and with divine source before you work on your relationships with other people. And you might need to work on the relationship you have, or rather the perception that you have of relationships in general. Be assertive with your own healing. The situation can be healed gently and with love, as you are requested. Yet there is also a need for your strength and truthfulness with other people involved. We will stand right behind you as you speak your truth, giving your strength and guiding your words. Your primary relationship is with yourself and God, and every other relationship follows from there. To attract, heal, or balance a relationship, then snuggle more closely with your loving Creator. As you feel safe and loved within, so shall your other relationships bloom and prosper. You now have the opportunity to write the script according to your heart's true desires. Once you clearly decide upon your true desires and know that you're ready and deserving of them, they'll rush into your life as if by magic. We shower you with blessings of our radiant love. Open your arms and release the challenges that you've held tightly gripped within your hands. Open your hands, arms, and heart to our love and assistance. The purpose of your life is to serve in a way that brings great joy to yourself and others. Don't worry about finding your purpose. Instead, focus on serving a purpose, and then your purpose will serve you. The changes you are experiencing are divinely directed by your newborn willingness to open your heart to love and our guidance. You are protected now and in the future, so follow your path to the happy outcomes you desire. Let's get one message from your higher self regarding how to release the darkness. Ground yourself. When you detach from awareness of your body and the physical world, you become ungrounded. Although it's pleasant to float heavenward, your attention and work are needed upon the earth. We are helping you balance the spiritual and material so that you can enjoy a fulfilling earthly life. And on the bottom of the deck, you have trustworthy guidance. You've received a wonderful idea as an answer to your prayers. This idea is real and trustworthy. You can safely move forward with it, knowing that we are with you every step of the way. Ask for and be open to receiving our support for anything you need related to this idea. And even if you haven't received an inspiration, know that you are going to be receiving one. And actually on the bottom of the tarot deck, you have Ace of Wands. So you are going to be going through some personal spiritual changes, but also your energy is getting an upgrade and you're going to be receiving new inspirations to create something new. And it's going to be something that really sort of jump starts your enjoyment and creative abilities and your ability to be happy and love. And sometimes the angel of rain comes in to wash away the old and to nourish and nurture what is new or what is already growing. So don't hate the rainstorms in your life because they do recharge things and bring new things forward and saturates the ground and the green and the good in your life with much needed new water and positive things that you need. Yeah, and you are being heralded with some divine messages and guidance. So trust that you are being led to better places, but take responsibility for your own healing and your own transformations. And don't bog yourself down with the responsibility of healing or changing someone else. Just focus on your own healing right now and help to support yourself and others how you can in positive ways. All right, you guys, this was your reading for all the healing insights that you need right now. And I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I hope you got a lot of insight and messages from this. If you enjoyed this reading, please like this video, leave a comment down below if you feel guided to, and please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for letting me be a part of your path and for sharing with me on my journey. And I hope to see you all back again, and much blessings to you and your healing journey. Bye.